Overdose deaths are down in Saskatchewan. Why it doesn't mean the dangerous drugs aren't still a problem on Saskatchewan streets. Training transit police, why Saskatoon is sending police officers overseas to prepare. And getting ready for the upcoming wildfire season, how the province says it will be better prepared.
This is CTV News with Chantel Saunders.
Good evening. Overdose deaths in Saskatchewan are on the way down. The latest data shows a trend that could put the numbers as low as they've been since the height of the pandemic. But as Keenan Sorokon reports, even though fewer people are dying from dangerous drugs, frontline workers say there is still more work to do to prevent people from getting seriously ill.
Saskatchewan is on track to see its lowest number of drug overdose-related deaths since 2020. Data from the coroner's service shows 331 overdose deaths last year. Some may be removed as investigations continue, but if it stays the same, it will be the lowest number of deaths since numbers spiked 6 years ago.
We're working very, very hard to eliminate toxic drugs and illicit drugs.
There were 109 fewer deaths in 2024 compared to the previous year and 15 fewer last year, with Regina and Saskatoon accounting for a majority of them. And McBride attributes that decline to public awareness and naloxone.
That public awareness of what's happening is leading to a decreasing number of deaths.
The province invested heavily in take-home naloxone kits last year, with a record number of units sent across the province. In the province's two largest cities, drug overdose calls were comparable over 2023 and 2024, but 2025 was a different story, with Regina falling below 1,000 overdose calls, while Saskatoon saw more than double, with over 2,500 calls, more than 200 per month and nearly 7 every 24 hours.
It just seems like an endless supply continues to flow in.
Just last month, the coroner's office reported a surge in fatal overdoses, with 28 people dead from suspected overdose compared to 18 in December 2024, as police services continue to seize more drugs.
Sometimes those investigations just take time, so I don't think that the amount of charges reflects the work that's happening in the community.
A drug alert issued for Saskatoon on Wednesday afternoon came just hours after a similar warning of an increased risk of drug overdose in the Punachai area, as toxic drugs remain a focus of both police services and fire departments across Saskatchewan. Keenan Sorokon, CTV News, Saskatoon.
More police officers will be added to Saskatoon streets.
These officers will address real challenges like violent crime, drug activity, and other social disorder concerns.
14 officers have been hired in Saskatoon and 10 more are in training. The recruitment and retention of these 24 officers comes with a price tag of $1.85 million that is funded through a provincial program first announced in 2024, which aims to make communities safer. Saskatoon police say nearly 40% of last year's 108,000 calls involved social disorder, driving the need for more patrols in the city. Saskatoon is looking across the Atlantic for ideas on transit safety. 2 members of the police service are heading overseas to study how London polices one of the world's busiest public transit systems. But as CTV's Laura Woodward reports, the total cost of the trip remains unclear.
We're talking London, Ontario?
No.
London, England.
Talking London, England.
London, England, home to one of the world's busiest public transit systems. 2 Saskatoon police officers will travel here in the coming weeks to study how transit is policed.
They have established protocols, policies, procedures, and they have a very similar foundation to what we are seeking to achieve.
The trip comes as Saskatoon police work towards launching a dedicated transit safety unit, following a rise in violent incidents on buses and at terminals. Police have budgeted $600,000 for transit safety in 2026, rising to $1 million the following year. A police spokesperson says the service will not disclose the total cost of the trip and training. But the chief says traveling to London won't cost much more than going to a Canadian city.
Some people people wonder, well, can't you just go to Toronto? Can't you just go to Montreal or Vancouver? They have established, robust transit systems as well. But what we know is that the citizens of Saskatoon deserve the best model and the best transit policing program that we can provide. The cost differential from going to London to going to Montreal, say, is almost negligible. And so why would we not set us up for the best opportunity at success?
The Transit Safety Unit is expected to roll out in 2027 with 8 officers and 1 supervisor. The police chief says the unit will go beyond just putting cops on buses and instead focus on high crime routes and individuals that repeatedly cause problems on board. Laurel Woodward, CTV News, Saskatoon.
The wildfire season is still months away, but the work to fight it has already begun. As CTV's Stacey Hine tells us, maintenance crews at the provincial air base in La Ronge are preparing firefighting plans for the season ahead.
Months before the first summer wildfire breaks out, while snow still covers water bombers, crews at the provincial air base in La Ronge are already preparing for the season ahead.
Our intention through the wintertime is to try and get as much done on the aeroplane as we can so that we don't have any major maintenance activities during the fire season.
Inside the maintenance hangar, crews climb onto water bombers nearly 30 feet tall, inspecting and repairing planes that will soon be flying dangerous missions.
Airlines, they're lucky. Their critical phase of flight is a takeoff and landing. For us, we're forever in the critical phase because we're flying low and fast to the ground. We've got reduced visibility.
It's a risky reality pilots faced repeatedly last year, the second worst wildfire season in Canadian history. More than 6,000 fires burned across the country, including about 500 in Saskatchewan. Early in the season, the Pea fire destroyed the communications building at the La Ronge Airport, a key northern air tanker base. Planes were moved as the building burned, and operations complicated by lost records, equipment, and concerns for the community.
The town has been evacuated, so they're worrying about their families. A lot of the maintenance team and other team were actually living in the hangar here for a couple of days because they couldn't be at home.
Despite the disruption, missions resumed the next day. A global shortage of pilots and maintenance workers was another challenge. At one point, staffing levels were down about 30% due to illness and vacancies. Looking ahead, the Saskatchewan Public Safety Agency says it's improving airspace control, contracting additional maintenance teams, and adding more simulator training.
That'll reduce the number of training hours we do on the aeroplanes. The aeroplanes should be available sooner and with less flying hours on them.
After last season's challenges, Boniface says the focus this winter is on preparation, making sure crews are ready when wildfire season returns. Stacey Hine, CTV News, La Ronge.
Members of a Saskatchewan volunteer fire department who helped to battle last season's wildfires have been recognized for their efforts. 6 members of Leroy's fire department are recipients of the Premier's Commendation Award. The crew was stationed in the Beauval area and helped to fight the Muskeg fire. The award was given to 64 municipal departments with the province, saying it acknowledges the bravery of those who protected Saskatchewan families and communities during one of the most devastating wildfire seasons on record. The province held a ceremony for the recipients in December, but because Leroy's fire chief was unable to attend, a special celebration was held last night in the community. Jeff, the true warm-up is coming tomorrow.
It is. Today a bit of a transition day, but temperatures will be certainly above seasonal as we make our way into Friday, and then even warmer on Saturday. And right now we're talking about some plus temperatures for the early part of February. Just keeping our eye on this little bit of snow that's sort of sliding across the province in I'll call it a north-south line. It's a little angled, but for the most part, it's all part of that warm Pacific air that is really hammering Canada's west coast. But the result is we get all the warm air, they get the rain, and that's what's coming our way. And we'll talk about the actual numbers a little later on.
A woman has pleaded guilty to a lesser charge in connection to a death on 8th Street. In November of 2024, Saskatoon police say 20-year-old Jordana Kucher was found dead in a parking lot at the Copper Mug. Caitlin Sean McGilvery was charged with first-degree murder in Kucher's death. In provincial court, she pleaded guilty to the charge of being an accessory after the fact. Last week, she was sentenced to 5 years in prison, including time served. Last year, a 17-year-old boy pleaded guilty to second-degree murder in connection to Kucher's death. A 27-year-old woman has been charged in connection to a domestic assault police say involved a blowtorch. Officers were called to Maxwell Crescent in the Massey Place neighborhood at about 9:30 this morning. They were told a woman in an apartment suite was armed with knives and a blowtorch and threatening another occupant. The suspect escaped through a window, but police found her a few blocks away on Matheson Drive, where they tasered her. The 27-year-old is facing charges of assault with a weapon and making death threats. No one was injured in the incident. A Saskatchewan man charged with child exploitation made his first court appearance today. Minachi Cizura Anuka was charged earlier this month in Regina with access to child sexual abuse and exploitation material and extortion. The charges stem from a June 2025 incident where Anuka posed as a teenage girl, convincing a 15-year-old boy to send a nude photo of himself. Anuka is then accused of extorting the victim for money. The accused is scheduled to be back in provincial court next month. Saskatoon Firefighter is battling another boarded-up house in the city overnight, this one in the 100 block of Avenue V South. Crews were called just after midnight and found smoke and flames coming from multiple areas of the house. They were told 3 people could be living there who were unaccounted for. Firefighters searched the structure and confirmed no one was inside, and investigators looking into the cause and damage estimate. Gun shop owners are facing issues with the latest round of the federal government's buyback program. Since 2020, more than 2,500 guns have been declared illegal and will be collected for disposal. Owners have until March 30th to declare possession and apply for compensation. Gun shop owners have been ordered to remove the models from display cases, but compensation has not been announced. One Regina store says it has been forced to store $50,000 worth of inventory.
We've paid for them, and we now can't sell them. And but there's a bigger implication to it. Is the firearms that are on the list are hunting rifles and sport shooting rifles that are very popular. So we've lost our most popular selling models.
The federal government says it had a strong start to the latest buyback program with 22,000 guns declared during the first week. Saskatoon Light and Power customers will see a bump in their bills in the coming weeks. The city says it will match the rate increases being imposed by SaskPower. As of February 1st, Saskatoon Light and Power is implementing a 3.9% electrical rate increase, another 3.9% increase next February 1st. The city buys its power from SaskPower, which cited increased capital investments, operating, maintenance, fuel, and administration expenses for its increase. The city says the increases from Saskatoon Light and Power ensures equitable rates regardless of whether residents live within the Saskatoon Light and Power or SaskPower service areas. In Prince Albert, the Raiders are starting to become the talk of the town. They are ranked first in the country, first in the league, and are riding an 8-game winning streak. As Jasmine Pelche reports, it's got a local player excited and fans are buying in.
16-year-old center Connor Howe is playing his first WHL season with the team he grew up watching. A Prince Albert local, he says he was speechless when he first found out he'd be joining the Raiders.
The Prince Albert Raiders were one of my favorite teams growing up, and getting the chance to play for them it's a dream come true for sure.
And his skill is paying off. Howe is a big reason why the team extended its winning streak to 8 games on Tuesday, scoring the deciding goal against the Moose Jaw Warriors.
There's always talks that we're going to be really good this year, and to see that we are doing really good, it's definitely a really good feeling just being able to win, and it's just like it's awesome. We have a really good group of guys.
Raiders left winger Brandon Gorzinski was just named WHL Player of the Week. The Dallas Stars draft pick says consistency is keeping Prince Albert's team at the top.
We're not doing anything crazy. It's all just the same thing every day and hard work, and we have a plan in what we're doing, and we execute it every night.
Season tickets were at record highs from the beginning, and walk-up ticket sales have only gone up as the Raiders have gained momentum. They are currently ranked first in the country, and the team says jerseys have been flying off the shelves.
You see people wearing the Raiders stuff, honking the horns, waving at you. You know, we were out at a school this morning, and the kids lining up to high-five and get autographs.
The Raiders will face long-standing rival Saskatoon Blades at home this Saturday.
Their offensive ability is really good, and I think we just got to be good in the D-zone. I think we'll be good.
Jasmine Pelche, CTV News, Prince Albert.
We finally know who bought the ticket for the $18 million Lotto 649 gold ball jackpot sold in Saskatchewan a few weeks ago. Jacob Carr introduces us to the province's newest multi-millionaire.
Cora Cuthbert's life changed on January 7th, the day she discovered she was $18 million richer. Her first reaction, disbelief.
Looking at that screen and I'm thinking, this better not be a glitch on my phone. She scans it and all three of us just starts, screaming. We were so excited and everything.
Cuthbert from Pheasant Rump Nakota First Nation discovered the win after scanning her ticket in the Lotto Spot app, then verifying it at a nearby pharmacy in Arcola. She says the first thing the money will be used for is a trip with her brothers and sisters to Edmonton, followed by a first-class trip to Hawaii.
Just very, very joyful for her because she's helped our parents so long for so much, and then with us losing our dad, it took a really hard hit on her.
Cora lost her father in June of 2025. She says he was the reason she regularly bought Lotto tickets. She has received several texts from friends and family after learning of her win, saying it was her father, making sure she was being looked after. Cora says she also plans on using her winnings to ensure people have better access to support and medical care on her reserve, something that comes as no surprise to her son, Tom.
Giving out to homeless people, because we like to think about things like that. Family first and people, because you can't replace people. People matter more than money.
Cora says she and Tom are looking into a trip to Scotland because that is part of her father's ancestral background, and the winnings have allowed her to officially retire from her job as a home care aide on her reserve.
Actually, I just retired yesterday.
Jacob Carr, CTV News, Regina.
Still to come, a look at what Canadians are looking for as rising food costs eat up their budgets. Also, accusations fly why BC's premier had harsh words for Alberta. You're watching CTV News Live from downtown Saskatoon. Thanks for staying with us. BC Premier David Eby spoke out today on Alberta's separatist movement, referring specifically to a reported meeting between members of the group and White House officials calling their actions treason. Strong remarks from the Premier as the Prime Minister was hosting his provincial counterparts in Ottawa. As Abigail Beeman reports, the focus today was on unity.
Our country is more united, ambitious, and determined than it has been in decades.
All premiers and the Prime Minister around the table in Ottawa, but that message of unity is infringed on by a Financial Times report. The Alberta separatism movement has been meeting the Trump administration and is seeking $500 billion in credit in the event of a successful referendum.
To go to a foreign country and to ask for assistance in breaking up Canada, there's an old-fashioned word for that, and that word is treason.
It's ludicrous, right? I mean, we're there on a fact-finding basis. There's nothing treasonous about it.
The group says it did meet with U.S. officials, but is only doing a feasibility study
to determine whether that facility would be available on a going-forward basis, and whether it's with U.S. Treasury or Goldman Sachs or J.P. Morgan through a bond issue.
The U.S. State Department said it regularly meets with civil society types and no commitments were made. A similar response from the White House, which tells CTV News no support or commitments were conveyed. The U.S. Secretary of the Treasury has weighed in on separatism before.
Alberta is a natural partner for the U.S.
I would expect that the U.S. administration would respect Canadian sovereignty and that they would confine their discussion about Alberta's democratic process to Albertans and to Canadians. And I will raise that with my delegate in Washington.
At the closing press conference, the Prime Minister would not answer whether he felt there was foreign interference from the United States.
We expect the U.S. administration to respect Canadian sovereignty. I'm always clear in my conversation with President Trump to that effect, and then move on to what we can do together.
While Canada faces separation speculation further east too, with the rise in popularity of Quebec's Parti Québécois.
He's going to call a referendum. If he, God forbid, he gets elected, I mark my words, within a year and a half, he'll be calling a referendum to separate from Canada. Unacceptable.
As for the substance of the meetings, a big focus was the upcoming review of the North American Free Trade Deal. The Prime Minister said he and the premiers agreed to meet monthly once that review is underway. Abigail Beeman, CTV News, Ottawa.
Paying for groceries is still the #1 expense draining the pocketbooks of Canadians. New Nanos polling out today highlights just how much affordability is taking a toll. Alex Karpa on the effect it's having on spending habits.
Hard to make decisions.
A trip to the grocery store is not an easy one for Ben Nye.
It's really expensive here.
Soaring prices at checkout are forcing him to carefully consider what meals he can afford to make.
That's not bad. It's $4.99.
Being currently unemployed and searching for work has made it a struggle to pay the bills.
As a consumer, we're being hit hard, and it's being difficult for us to actually be able to afford anything anymore.
Nye has even resorted to selling many of his things just to cover costs.
It's difficult trying to make ends meet.
Like Ben, many are feeling the impacts of rising grocery prices. A new survey finds that the biggest concerns around costs for Canadians is right here at the grocery store. A new Nanos research poll for CTV News finds grocery prices worry Canadians more than housing costs as inflation continues to rise. More than half of Canadians say groceries are top of mind when looking to save money this year, followed by housing at almost 25% and healthcare at nearly 10%.
It speaks to the pressure that Canadians are under and how groceries are at the top of the list, significantly ahead of things like housing and healthcare and fuel and entertainment, all those things.
But experts warn that relief may not come anytime soon.
The story on tariffs are going to continue as we're trying to renew CUMSA with a very unfortunate negotiating opponent in the United States. Could be looking at, a bad year next year as well.
Let's try this.
As prices continue to climb with no end in sight, Nye says he will do whatever it takes just to stay afloat. Alex Karpa, CTV News, Winnipeg.
A Canadian mining company says 10 workers have been abducted from one of its sites in western Mexico. The Vancouver-based firm Vizsla Silver says information remains limited and an investigation has begun. Local authorities have also been notified. A Vizsla spokesperson declined to say whether any of the kidnapped employees are Canadian. Their abduction was originally reported to Mexican authorities on Saturday. Local media reported the abductees were taken by armed men from staff accommodations in the city of Concordia the day before that. A Métis artist is using a traditional technique to create a rug that will take hours to make. Margaret Harrison, along with the Royal Saskatchewan Museum in Regina, is working on a Saskatchewan landscape using rag ruck hooking. The technique uses repurposed cloth and a burlap canvas to create floor coverings. It's believed to have originated during the fur trade era. The final image holds special meaning for Harrison.
The valley where I grew up in, the Qu'Appelle Valley, and so my inspiration for my other rugs also come from there, and that's where I developed the designs. It took a while to come to that, because when you're thinking of what particular thing do we want to cover here or feature for everybody.
Harrison was taught the rug making technique by her mother and has shared it with others through classes. All right, Jeff, I guess today was transition day, just to be clear?
Yeah,
okay,
today was the transition day. And so
wait is over almost.
See, actually, warmer than seasonal by just about a hair, but then we make our way into the weekend. Even tomorrow, mild conditions, and next week looking really quite warm indeed. So we'll talk about that in a second or two. Let's check our current numbers. Currently in the Saskatoon area, it's minus 12 degrees, minus 17 in Prince Albert, minus 10 in the Battlefords. The light snow has stopped in the Battlefords, and it looks like it's stopped everywhere. And as you can see, the winds are a little more brisk in Saskatoon and the Battlefords than it is in Prince Albert. Quick look at the almanac for today, for the 29th of January. Minus 10 degrees was our high today. As I mentioned, that's 1 degree above seasonal. The record warm temperature, 5 degrees in 1913. The record cold temperature, minus 46 from 1950. In 1969, it was minus 40, so actually minus 43. So yes, it was a very cold year in 1969. Why do I know that? Well, I'll tell you later. 8:52 is when the sun came up, and the sun went down at 5:49.
Coming up, Holy Rock, the Singing Sisters hoping this won't be their swan song.
It's Red Tape Reduction Week. Friday on Your Morning, while the Canadian Federation of Independent Business is focusing on agriculture and how they could help you.
All right, welcome back. We'll take a look at our live lens of Skycam, and well, the clouds have started to at least not give us any snow, but right now they haven't quite dissipated. So, but still a very nice shot, and if that's a beautiful view, here's another beautiful view. This is the grand prize in the Spring 2026 Hospital Home Lottery. A French chateau inspired home valued at $2.3 million. Earlier today, CTV was on hand as St. Paul's, Saskatoon City, and Royal University Hospital Foundations officially launched the lottery. For more details on this and the other prizes, including the 50-50, just visit hospitalhomelottery.org. Yeah, it's a gorgeous home, absolutely beautiful. So let's take a look at temperatures that I think some people will consider beautiful, but they are all emanating from the Pacific coast. They're getting a lot of rain on Canada's west coast, but the rain gets scrubbed out, and then the warm Pacific air comes our way, slowly making its way into Manitoba. Manitoba doesn't really get warm until Saturday, but we're going to be warming up tomorrow. Alberta's getting quite warm. Some Chinook winds are involved in that. Lethbridge might see 18 degrees tomorrow. That's warm. Some might even say hot. Minus 12 degrees in Saskatoon, minus 17 in Prince Albert, and minus 10 in the Battlefords. On to our hotspot. Well, a tie between Cypress Hills Provincial Park and Maple Creek. 5 degrees. Key Lake, the cold spot, at minus 37. Around the province we go. Minus 9 degrees in Lloydminster, minus 2 in Swift Current, but it cools off to minus 11 in the Queen City, minus 14 in Estevan, minus 20 in Yorkton. Yorkton's stubbornly cold. They're going to warm up tomorrow, though. Minus 7 degrees in Meadow Lake and Kindersley, minus 9 in Rosetown, minus 17 in Melfort, minus 23 in Nipawin, minus 18 in Hudson Bay, minus 19 in Wynyard. And up north, temperatures not bad, actually. Minus 9 degrees in Buffalo Narrows, minus 18 in Stony Rapids, minus 22 in Collins Bay, and minus 17 in Sandy Bay Island Falls. And down south, minus 1 in Maple Creek, but it does cool off to minus 21. That's in Broadview. It's minus 20 in Melville, minus 14 in Carlisle, minus 7 in Leader and Coronach, and minus 5 in East End. Here we go with our future cast. Well, that snow is expected to sort of slide through northern areas, not really be impactful for the rest of the province tomorrow. Maybe a little something sneaking into the border areas down around southern Saskatchewan, south central parts of the province. But yes, we've got ourselves closer pressure lines there. So, of course, that means stronger winds, and we'll talk about those in momentarily. Minus 7 degrees for La Ronge tomorrow. Same for Key Lake, minus 6 in Stony Rapids, and minus 4 in Buffalo Narrows, and that is way above seasonal. Minus 7 as well in Spiritwood, minus 4 in Meadow Lake, minus 2 in Kindersley, minus 3 in Rosetown. Into southwestern Saskatchewan, 4 on the plus side in Maple Creek, 1 in Leader, minus 4 in Outlook, minus 2 with windy conditions in Swift Current, minus 6 in Moose Jaw, into the minus double digits for Yorkton, Regina, and Estevan, so a bit cool there. And then temperatures hovering around the minus 11 degree mark, let's say, for east central Saskatchewan under mainly cloudy skies on Friday. The Battleford's dropping down to minus 12 tonight as the flurries taper off. Cloudy skies on Friday with a high of -4. Winds out of the southeast at 20. 0 degrees on Saturday with a chance of flurries, so it could get kind of messy on the roads in the Battlefords region. -6 on Sunday, -5 on Monday with a chance of flurries, and then temperatures getting up to +3 by Thursday. Flurries tapering off in Prince Albert as well, -17 degrees. Cloudy conditions on Friday with a high of -8, -2 with a chance of flurries on Saturday. Sunday, cloudy, -9, pretty much the same situation on Monday, but then warming up to 2 by Thursday of next week. And Saskatoon's overnight temperature, -13 degrees. That's almost a daytime high. And then -6 tomorrow, but it is going to be a windy day in Saskatoon. Winds out of the south at 30, but gusting to 50. It's a southerly flow, nice and warm. -1 with a pretty good chance of flurries. Let's just say light snow on Saturday. We might even see up to 5 centimeters of snow, but mild conditions, -1 degree. -7 on Sunday. Monday to start the work week, a slight chance of flurries, -6, and then warming up to +3 by Thursday.
Yes, you had your way, and now you're gonna pay.
The USask Jazz Ensemble is performing Friday night at the Basement. Showtime is 8:30. Plus, the ensemble is hosting a masquerade big band dance on Saturday, February 7th. 3 other bands will be playing as well. It's at the Manhattan Ballroom, and it's an all-ages event, and it benefits the USask Jazz Ensemble.
حبيبي احنا مجبورين نأمن له مسلك كامل. إذا ما فيش معها وقت.
Oscar nominee, the voice of Hindra Job, opens Friday at the Roxy. Based on real events, the film follows the efforts to save a 6-year-old girl who is pleading for rescue while she is trapped in a car under fire in Gaza. Saturday, the E.A. Rawlinson Center in Prince Albert welcomes the Crosby Harley Band. The curtain goes up at 7:30.
We've got to get ourselves back to the
Jillian Snyder and a 9-piece orchestra will be live on stage Saturday night at the Basement for a deep dive into the Joni Mitchell songbook. The music starts at 7:30.
Let them all start talking. We won't give ourselves away. All love leads to madness.
Get ready to party! Saturday, the Darcy Clayton Band will be cranking out the rock and roll at the Capitol Music Club. VIP doors open at 6, general admission at 7, and the show starts at 8.
Here we go. Oh, good. I see you got your drink. Yes.
What is that?
Orange juice.
Didn't you want a gin and tonic?
Your mom has such a sweet tooth. Well, juice is a better fit.
The Watch List is the latest offering from 25th Street Theatre, described as a funny and gripping story about a family welcoming their son and his girlfriend for a visit when revelations unfold that could tear them apart. It runs from February 4th to 14th at Persephone Theatre's Backstage Stage.
Jeff, I heard you were out seeking legal advice today.
Yes, I was, but it was all pro bono. Quid pro quo. Habeas corpus, and my favorite, mea culpa. Fun to say, but these people know what they mean and how to apply them. They are law students from the University of Saskatchewan. And with me today, Taylor, Jetta, and Amy. And we are getting ready for Legal Follies, a great tradition here in Saskatoon. So first of all, thank you for doing this today.
Thank you.
How many years has Legal Follies been going on?
This is going to be our 57th year doing Legal Follies.
And for people who don't know what it is, what is it?
Legal Follies is a variety show that's put on every year by the College of Law for charity. It's put on by the students, and there's a variety of acts in the show. This year we have musicians, we have singers, we have dancers, and we even have some comedy skits as well. So it's going to be a great show.
Always looking forward to the comedy. And I know every year there's a special charity. What's the charity this year, Jetta?
This year the charity is Prairie Harm Reduction. So Prairie Harm Reduction is a Saskatoon-based community care that helps with different types of harm reduction for people and families.
All right, fair enough then. And our Captain Amy, I understand it's a pirate theme this year?
It is indeed. You can get your tickets online through the Broadway Theatre, and we encourage tickets to the Friday show because Saturday show is limited.
All right, so once again, Legal Follies, a great tradition here in Saskatoon, right here at the Broadway Theatre. And just before we go, let's all give a big R here. 1, 2, 3, R.
All right, time for pick of the day. What did you decide?
Well, we decided to go with a triple hit here. We're going to start off with this one right now. This is from Andy in Tisdale. Andy writes, "It's so cold, but the birdies share." Minus 28 when this picture was taken. That was at 3:30 last Friday. So yeah, a nice shot of Mr. Squirrel getting a snack there. The next one comes to us from Angela. Angela tells us this picture was taken on Saturday, January 24th at River Landing. What a great shot there. Great colors, and obviously you feel the cold as that mist rises off the South Saskatchewan. Finally, from Cheryl. Cheryl says, "This is Watson, an 8-month-old Australian cattle dog. He has been loving playing ball in this frigid weather." That is a great picture and great name for the dog. I love Watson for a name. There you go. So thank you, Cheryl, for sharing that picture with us. And if you'd like to share an image with us, you can do so by sending it to cfqcnews@ctv.ca.
Still to come on CTV News, a notable group hoping to stay the course. Why these nuns don't want to fall out of habit doing what they love. A group of singing nuns in Winnipeg is hoping for some divine intervention. For more than 30 years, the Sisters of the Holy Rock have been spreading their faithful frequencies throughout Manitoba, all while helping raise money for local organizations. But as CTV's Danton Unger reports, the choir is now at risk of singing its swan song.
This group of nuns really knows how to rock out. They're known as the Sisters of the Holy Rock, a group of singing nuns that have raised nearly $4 million for charities in their 3 decades of performances.
None of us are nuns. Some of us are Catholic, but none of us are nuns.
While they may not be real nuns, what unites this group is their love for music.
When you see the group performing, you can just see the joy on everyone's face and the wonderful time we have together.
It started 33 years ago with a church choir director, affectionately known as the Reverend Mother Carol Whoopi Stone. Inspired by Whoopi Goldberg's movie Sister Act, Stone got her own group together, donning the traditional black and white habits, and took the stage. They were a holy hit. Mamma mia, here I go again. Ever since, these fun-loving, righteous rockers have been delighting audiences with everything from the Beatles to the Beach Boys, complete with choreography. It must come to an end. But now the sisters face an uncertain future. 3 years ago, Stone passed away, and now the choir is looking for a new Reverend Mother to carry on her legacy.
Our director and founder, Carol Stone, was a very spiritual person, and I feel like God is still leading this group through Carol, and if it's meant to be, the right person will come to us.
But without someone stepping forward soon, the group fears it may be curtains for their so-called Sisters Act.
We'll at best have to take a hiatus and at worst disband.
So for now, these nuns are left hoping and praying someone will take up this hallowed calling, allowing this music to continue for years to come. Danton Unger, CTV News, Winnipeg.
When we come back, what's behind a drop in blood donations, and later the youngster who is pocketing a couple of world records.
Welcome back. Time for the rural forecast for tomorrow and some pretty mild conditions as we make our way towards the western side of the province. Look at that. -2 for Kindersley, -4 in Lloydminster, and Outlook as well as Meadow Lake. -7 in Spiritwood. It cools off to -12 in Hudson Bay, but that's a far cry from where they were earlier, meaning to say today. So -11 in Wynyard. And then as we make our way down south, still a bit on the cool side in Kenora, -16 degrees, -17 in Carlisle, -14 in Broadview. But on the western side of the province, yes, indeed, on the plus side in Leader and Maple Creek, just -2 in East End. So some mild conditions out there, no question about it. And let's check out Raymore, -12 degrees. Winds out of the south 20, gusting to 40, mainly cloudy skies. So things are looking pretty good in Raymore. And that's where internet plans of up to 1 gig are available from SaskTel.
Canadian Blood Services is calling for people to donate blood or plasma this winter. The organization says winter conditions and seasonal illness have taken a toll on blood and plasma collections. Many appointments have been canceled, leading to fewer donations. Major storms and cold this past week in parts of Canada disrupted regular collections in many towns and cities.
In the last number of weeks, we've had to cancel 16 donation events. And from January 21st through January 27th, we collected 1,500 units, less than what we had planned for. So we want to remind people where and when possible to book appointments and keep appointments with Canadian Blood Services to ensure that we're collecting.
O-negative blood is especially valuable because it's compatible with all blood types and can be given to any patient. There's a dramatic change in how much Canada imported versus how much it exported late last year. Marilla Fernandez has that.
Canada's trade deficit widened to $2.2 billion last November. It was under $400 million in October. Total exports were down 2.8%, with a big drop-off of unwrought gold shipments to the UK, the US, and Hong Kong. Exports of vehicles and parts also dropped, reaching their lowest level in 3 years. A shortage of semiconductors is impacting vehicle production in Canada. Here are the closing numbers for the day. The Canadian dollar is up to 74.09. West Texas Intermediate is up over $2 to 65.30. Western Canadian Select up almost $1.50 to 48.56. And the TSX lost 159 points today, but is still above 33,000. Those are your business headlines. I'm Marilla Fernandez.
Turning to local gas prices now, the average price in Saskatoon is currently just over $1.19 a litre. The lowest price in town is $1.12.9. On Saskatchewan markets, Cameco dropped $1.42 and Nutrien finished the day at $95.92. Coming up, the toddler on cue to set a world record. Then a kid in a cowboy hat that has reason to celebrate.
Select Hair Services brought to you by Sage, the beauty bar.
Stay with us for another great night of television starting tonight at 7 with Next Level Chef.
Oh, man, 911 Nashville.
I know, it's your...
The exotic dancers are trapped in a fire.
It's your now new favorite show.
Exactly,
It's topped
Printer's Alley.
Will Trent on your list.
Will Trent's very good.
I know. Well, a talented 2-year-old has pocketed a pair of impressive Guinness World Records.
Oh, trick shot. Trick shot, Gina.
This is Jude Owens from Manchester, who is right on cue as the youngest person to ever make these 2 snooker trick shots. The little pool shark has all the angles covered by using a stool to reach the table.
Wow.
His awards are bigger than he is.
Yeah. That's right. That's very
great.
true, yeah.
Super cute. All right, I understand someone special celebrating a birthday today.
That's right.
True?
That's right. Yes, it's true. Yes, my younger brother Mark is who used to work here. Oh, I thought we were just going to. Why are we showing me and my brother? I thought we were just going to focus on the guy in the cowboy hat in the middle.
It all.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Okay.
It's you on the left.
Yeah, yeah, it might be. Moving on to the next picture.
No, I want to see that somewhere. Oh,
what? Okay, Jeb. I think Jeb did this to me on purpose. Just
that's good hair. I'm sorry, Mark. This is your day, but
okay. Let's move on to the next picture here. So, yeah, poor Marnie. I know, but now that's just Mark by himself. Obviously, with the cowboy hat and the and.
I want to see them again. Can we see them again?
No, we're not seeing them again.
Okay, but it's Mark's birthday. Happy birthday, Mark.
Happy birthday, Mark. Love you. And yes, that's a lovely picture there. Clearly, you love hats.
We can get them back, Mark. Just send me some photos for Jeff's birthday. And,
there you go. We'll do that. I hope you're having a great day, pal.
Yeah.
So there you go. Cool.
What'd you get him?
That was my tribute.
Oh, okay. Nice forecast?
Good now.
Nice forecast?
Yeah, nice forecast.
Yeah.
There we go.
That's your gift for everyone.
He's going to be real mild. There you go. So less press releases to send out on behalf of street cleaning. There you go. So,
well, with the weather, maybe we won't need it.
Well, you know, we've got ourselves a warm situation as we head into next week. In particular, we've got those plus temperatures, so things are looking very, very good. And tomorrow, no longer a transition day. Tomorrow, around -6 for Saskatoon, and other places are looking very mild indeed. And we might see about 5 centimeters of snow on Saturday. We'll have to wait and give you an update on that tomorrow.
Happy birthday, Mark. Have a great day.